Hi, everybody. This is Miss Greaves. I'm going to start us off today in our lesson by reviewing what we learned last lesson, which was the scientific theory of evolution by natural selection. So, just to review, here are the things you have to have for this mechanism of evolution to work. In other words, the way it works. So there's going to be variation in your population, and that variation can come from either mutations in the DNA or from sexual recombination of genes. And again, don't let that scare you. That's just us talking meiosis with the crossing over and the separating of the sister chromatids and which sperm gets to which egg. Okay, so our two sources of variation, mutation and sexual recombination of genes. Okay, so in our goldfish experiment, the variation was there were goldfish and there were brown fish, right? Okay, so individuals then in the population will compete for resources. So it might be like you don't have enough food to feed everybody. It might be that you don't have enough space for everyone to live, or enough water if you're a plant, maybe enough light. Or it might be that you're competing with your fellow other fishes to not get eaten by a predator like a shark. So in our experiment, we had the sharks that preferred to eat goldfish. They could find them easier. And so the goldfish weren't good competitors amongst the fish because they were getting eaten by the sharks. And so that brings us to number three. Those individuals with variations or traits um, that work best in that particular environment, so in our predator prey shark environment with our fishes, those guys get to live and make more offspring. So, for instance, in our fishes, the brown fish, more of them survived and didn't get eaten. So, more of they made because there were more brown fish, they grew to adults and made more offspring. Now, that does not mean that a goldfish occasionally didn't grow to an adult and make offspring. That certainly does happen. It's just that more brown fish were able to make offspring. Remember, when you make offspring, you pass your DNA through the sperm and the egg to your babies, okay? Now, over generations, so you have babies and they grow up and they have babies and they grow up and they have babies. So, after this happening for a lot of generations, the number of individuals with that helpful trait increase in the population. So, over a lot of generations of our fish experiment, we got more and more fish with the brown trait than with the trait. We called that an increase in the allele frequency, the allele for the brown trait versus the allele for the um, gold trait. Okay, so there's just a little review. And today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have you guys practice. So we're going to look at cheetahs, okay? They're really amazing animals. They can run super fast. Um, and so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to present a problem and you guys are going to write an answer to the problem. And I want you to handwrite it. You can handwrite it on paper or you could handwrite it in Notability. And then I have an assignment following this. So you're going to upload your answer into that assignment. And you can do that right from Notability as a PDF, which I think is the easiest way. But if you want to handwrite your answer on paper, you can take pictures and upload those into the assignment. But here's what I want to see. I just want to see your answer to this question. And you just answer it the way you think it should be answered. Don't go to Google and look this up. You're not getting judged on whether it's right or wrong. I just want you to do some preliminary thinking. So do your best out of your very own brain. Here's the problem. Cheetahs can run faster than 60 miles per hour when chasing prey. Now, the question is this: how would a biologist explain how the ability to run fast evolved in cheetahs, assuming that their ancestors could only run around 20 miles per hour? So, how is it that over a lot of generations we got faster and faster cheetahs? That's the question. And so, what you're going to do right now is write your answer to that question and then submit it to the assignment, the Cheetah Question First Submission. I'll talk to you again after that.